I found the line that has these 2 points without using a graphing calculator and then checking without using a graphing calculator. However, suppose that I'm allowed to use a graphing calculator and I don't have to show my work, but I'm low on time, such as may be the case for the ACT math test or the second SAT math test. Let's talk about another way to find the answer by using the graphing calculator instead. This method could also be used as another way to check your work. Press Stat. Make sure you're on the Edit tab. Press Choice 1 Edit. For L1, enter in the X values. For L2, enter in the corresponding Y values. Press Stat again. Go to the tab Calc. Choose option 4. Make sure that the X list is L1 and the Y list is L2. If not, you can enter in L1 or L2 by pressing second and pressing the button 1, which has the blue text above it saying L1, or the button 2, which has the blue text above it saying L2. Here in the store, Reg EQ, if you wanted this line to be stored in Y1, for example, you could enter in Y1 by pressing alpha and then press trace, which has a green text above it saying F4, and then choosing Y1. However, if you just need to find a line and don't need to find another point on the line, then you would not need to enter anything here. Then press Calculate. Here A is a slope or the coefficient of x, and B is the constant. So the line would be y is equal to 3x minus 7. Now please note that r squared is 1 and r is 1. Now if you had a negative slope, r would be negative 1, but either way it's saying that the points are perfectly on a line. The reason for this is that this method of the calculator is supposed to be for the line of best fit. However, if the points are perfectly on the line of best fit, then this line will have all the points. Since 2 points define a line, this would be one way to find a line of 2 points by using a graphing calculator. Now we can use a similar method to use a graphing calculator to find a parabola of 3 points. 3 points will define a parabola. Now what should you do if you get a problem with a vertex and another point? You are given 2 points, not 3. Because you know the vertex, you can find another point pretty quickly. A parabola is symmetric around the vertical line that contains its vertex. So that means I can reflect this point over the vertical line to find another point that would be on the parabola. The y-coordinate of this point would be the same as the y-coordinate of this point. The distance from this point to the vertical line would be the same distance from the vertical line to this point. The distance from this point to the vertical line is 4 units, so the distance from the vertical line to this point is also 4 units. And so the x-coordinate of this point would be -5 plus 4 or -1, and so the coordinates of this point would be -1, -44. And now we have 3 points, and now I can use a graphing calculator to figure the equation of this parabola. Anyway, for this example, let's just use the first problem here. Press Stat. Stay in the Edit tab. Choose option 1. Enter in the x values for L1. Enter in the corresponding y values for L2. Press Stat again. Go to the tab Calc. Choose option 5. Make sure the x is L1 and y is L2 and press Calculate. Here A is the coefficient of x squared, B is the coefficient of x, and C is the constant. So the parabola would be 2x squared minus 5x plus 7. Now please note that r squared is 1, which is because all the points are perfectly on the parabola. The reason for this is that this method of the calculator is supposed to be for the parabola of best fit. However, if the points are perfectly on the parabola of best fit, then this parabola would have all the points. Since 3 points define a parabola, this would be one way to find a parabola of 3 points by using a graphing calculator. Here's a link to the playlist in which this video is a part of. It includes other similar videos about how to check your work using a graphing calculator.